Only V. I'm just kidding. Hey, good morning to all of you on YouTube land. Listen, you leaving money on the table, that's a question you need to be asking yourself. Okay? Join AlgoFactory.tech. Don't be sitting on the wayside, on the sidelines, watching the world go by when you could be educating yourself, learning the tricks of the trade, literally, no pun intended, and becoming more proficient as a trader, as a person, as somebody who is willing to perfect their craft and learn something, a real skill that can radically change your life. I mean, literally change your life. You're right here, algofactory.tech. And with that being said, Cowboy, let's get into the free session. And then, look, join. He's going to flash a QR code on the screen. Join up, and then join us in the live lab. It's worth every penny. I kid you not. Let's get into it.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. We do this. We do it every day. We started a little bit late today. You bring up Marissa Tomei to a couple of red-blooded dudes, and the conversation goes in another direction. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Marissa Tomei and the My Cousin Vinny Oscar days, man. She's still hot, like you said. She's a nice-looking lady. So anyhow, yeah, I just flashed a QR code up there. So that's like if you get your phone out, you're looking at the computer screen. But most people, at least a lot of you, are probably just watching on the screen that you're using. So I will also, you can always rewind, go look at this later, flash that code, zap it, go to the website. Here is the actual URL. Tech. It's algofactory.tech. And yes, VM late to the party. Like I said, we were just kind of, I actually was the one making us a little late today. I needed a couple extra minutes. It's just sometimes that way, when you wake up as early as I do. Some days it's just, you got a little kid that, baby that wakes you up in the middle of the night, and then you need a little extra sleep, and you don't get that extra sleep, but you get an extra few minutes getting up. But, the market waits for no one, let me tell you. It's a slow week right now. Okay, so it's the end of the quarter. We had the quad witch. The quad witch is basically a bunch of options expiring, like trillions of dollars of options expiring, and that was on the 16th. It's 11 days ago, so a week and a half ago, a lot of stuff wrapped up in the market. And market timing is an important thing. We might even just talk about that today and make the discussion a little brief. I used the oh, okay, Valgal, you're not late. I mean, if you were 10 minutes late, then you were like right on time. So, but anyhow, I think today we'll take a look at the economic calendar. We can even take a look at some charts. Keep it super simple today. Like I said, there's very low volatility right now. So that's one thing that, you want to pay attention to is what kind of market are you looking at? Are you looking at a market that's got a lot of action? Is the market, is there a lot going on? Is price moving around a lot? That's called volatility. And volatility is where money is made. Okay, so if there's not volatility, then you're trading the chop. And the chop will get you killed. There actually right now is a fair amount of volatility, and I think that's because we had some news this morning here. Today is Tuesday the 27th. Consumer confidence. So that's happening today in about an hour and 15 minutes. So also we did just come out of a few days of consolidation, so there's just a lot of chop, and when the chop ends, the price moves. So you're talking, there's inside days and outside days, we call that, all right? So first, I'll go ahead and pop the screen up so everybody can see it. And like I said, we'll have an abbreviated, live lab session here for the beginners, and we will move on to our private session at the regularly scheduled time. So let me do this. Bring up the proper screen, and I will share it. Get that Arnold special on Netflix. Have you seen the Arnold special?
No, I heard it was good. I have not seen it yet. Is it good?
I've seen the first. It's like a 3-part miniseries, and the first part is his bodybuilding life. The second part is his acting life, and I get the feeling his third part is going to be his political and up-to-date life.
Yeah, but that's when I was running for California.
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 Now, the way I say California is a little bit closer to the way it's properly said.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good. Your Arnold's getting, it's coming back to its how it used to be.
Well, like I said, you got to sit and watch him for a while. It's more of a study, like to talk like him. He's got these weird things, like he doesn't say whole. He said the whole.
The whole.
I like the whole thing. Like it's almost like horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was busy talking about the whole thing. But he goes into his family history. It's good. It's a good show. I mean, the guy is a beast. Like his brother and his dad like died, and he's like, yeah, I got things to do. That's, some might say that's a sociopath, but others might say that's a business person that's just got things to do. He talks about that.
Yeah.
He actually says, hey, I was so busy going after my goals, I just didn't let it stop me,
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah, it's pretty good. You got today, the 27th, 6:30 a.m. CAD had some action. CPI came out. So this is where you can see some volatility into the markets. And we've talked about like news events and what they do. I'm not a big fan of entering a trade before. So back up a little. There's day trading, and then there's like swing trading. And those are the two kind of trades I do. And there's some longer term trades, people that like they say they trade on the daily chart. You can swing trade on the daily. So that's like the higher time frame type trade in Forex. I mean, you can go as high as you want. You can trade the monthly, but I mean, most people are not going to wait, several months for a trade to go through. But trading on the daily chart, that'll, you can technically get in and out of a day trade within a week or two. It just depends on how quick the market is moving. I'm more of a day trader because I actually can sit in front of the screen. If you develop a day trading algorithm and you have it coded, then of course you can let it do the work for you. That's an option. But if you have like a 9 to 5, then you're probably going to be doing what's called swing trading. And swing trading is where you get into a position like you recognize that a trade's probably going to come like a day before it happens. That's the speed at which the market moves for a day trader. It's like, they start off the week, they're looking at the charts, say, I think there might be a trade for, the cable. And that's the British pound versus the dollar. Or if you're in like a stock, it's just whatever the stock's movement is, or if you're in crypto, whatever you're trading, you'll notice that, okay, this is like, I think there's gonna be a trade on Wednesday or Thursday. Like the market has to move and it has to complete, this, my indicators have to do that. Or, those kind of things that you say. And then you're set up. And then like on Tuesday, I think that trade is going to hit. And you set your orders if you're doing limit orders and letting the market come to you. Or, maybe you're just have like an alarm that says, oh, but my price is where I want it to be. And so I'm going to, whatever your method is, however you get into your trade, limit or market, that might happen while you're like at work, you come home, your trade's on. And then of course you might take 3 or 4 days before the trade even hits its target or it's stopped, depending on whether or not you are successful in that particular trade. And again, for you beginners out there, you're going to lose trades. It's the best trader in the world is going to lose like maybe, 1% of their trades, 20%, 30%. Or, if you have, for example, the type of trade where you might be sitting at, say, how would I say this? Like your risk to reward ratio is going to be like 5 to 1. So, let's just say you're risking $1,000 to win 5,000. Then, you might win half your trades and be still very profitable, right? So you're losing 50% of your trades, but when you win, the wins are so big that it's like, okay, so who cares if you lost, and those are the kind of methods that I personally like. But, I have more than one algo that I trade. So the point here is that a swing trader is going to be like able to go to work and then come back and manage their trade because not a whole lot's going to happen. Like the trade's going to move in one direction or the other, but it's probably not going to approach its stop or its limit because it's just, you're trading on a higher time frame. And so if I had a 9 to 5, I probably would aim at swing trading at first. Now, most of your indicator-based algorithms are going to work on multiple time frames. They might have different results, but the results, most of them are going to be relatively similar. Obviously, the higher time frame you trade, the longer it takes for your trades to hit, the more stable they tend to be. When you're day trading and you're just kind of in and out in like an hour or two, or you in and out within, like say market open to market close, maybe you take a trade at the London Open and you close it before the New York close, something like that. Or that's almost more like a swing trade. At least, New York Open to New York close, you're in and out 2-3 hours, or even in maybe 1 hour or less. There's going to be some noise. Your news events, like you see on the screen, like those red, CPI, all that stuff, that's going to affect your trade. So if you're a day trader, you got to trade around that. I mean, you don't have to. You got to do whatever you think is best, whatever your algo tells you to do. We don't dispense investment advice here. You're going to have to talk to your licensed investment advisor before you risk your money in markets, because you can lose your money. But you're going to have to consider whether or not you want to trade the USD CAD while they're announcing the Canadian CPI. Okay. And we'll look at the charts and see why that is, because this is going to apply to any USD trade right now. As 10 a.m. EST, you have consumer confidence coming out, right? Or later tonight at 9:30 p.m. EST, you've got the Australian CPY, which is in the morning over there, down under. So we got tomorrow, we got Chowell. Chowell's going to talk. That's Fed Chair Powell. He's going to have a conversation. Let's see what this guy just won't shut up. I can't even shut up for a while. I like Powell. He's a great guy, but man, this is okay. Due to the participate in a panel discussion called Policy Panel at the ECB Forum on central banking and Sintra. So he's going to go over, and what he's going to talk about is probably going to affect the entire market, because usually in the Forex market, it's going to, any USD like heavy impact conversation, that's going to affect all markets, stocks, everything. But of course, it's going to affect Forex the most because that's currencies. It's going to affect crypto usually. Right now, crypto has been kind of, there are days where there's big movements, but outside of those like quick, big movements, crypto's been pretty choppy. So there's not been a lot of volatility. Some of these times when you think there would be a heavy effect on markets, like it doesn't happen, and sometimes it does, unpredictable. But under any circumstance, if Fed Chair Powell is going to speak at 9:30 a.m. EST tomorrow, I'm probably not going to be in any USD trades until after he's done talking. And usually they have him up and speaking pretty quick. And anytime he speaks, even if it's at some panel, it's not like he's talking about the FOMC. It's still going to have an effect. People are going to dissect every little word he says, so that they could detect what kind of policy might be going forward. And it is a policy panel, so something to be careful about if you're trading on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Thursday, again, Chowell's going to speak. Some European news, GDP comes out. That's all pretty early in the morning, so Thursday might be a nice day to trade, because Chowell's going to speak at 12:30 a.m. That's what, 2:30 EST. So not a lot of US traders gonna be up trading. I might be up at that time trading because I'm a crazy person, but that's may or may not affect everybody. And then of course you have unemployment, which is every week on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. EST, an hour before the market open, the New York Open, along with GDP numbers. So Thursday is going to have some data coming out before the New York Open, which gives everybody a chance to kind of position. So I might not be trading right at 8:30 a.m. EST. If I'm day trading, I probably wouldn't be in any trades, but right, within like say 20 minutes afterwards, once the jitters go away, that might be like a good place to look. And of course, USD has a core PCE index on Friday, also at 6:30 a.m. Same scenario, before market open. So maybe, 20, 30 minutes after the data comes out, there will be some volatility in the market that may or may not be tradable. Just all depends on what your algorithm tells you to do. We can spend the next few minutes looking at the USD CAD to see how this kind of stuff is affected, right? How price is affected by by such data. Okay, so I'm going to look at the 5-minute chart here. Let's go back to the calendar for Tuesday. It was at 8:30 EST. And I'm going to zoom in so people can see what's going on out in YouTube land and for our private group. And then we're going to roll to the 5-minute. And we got see this kind of gobbledygook here. You got a lot of normal looking price movement, right? And then you have this gobbledygook, these swings, these wicks kind of up and down. So this is what happens during announcements, especially during liquid times. CAD has actually been pretty good. The USD CAD pair is going to be dependent on oil. So whatever oil's doing is going to affect USD CAD. If you're looking for kind of an external shock mechanism, if there's a big change in oil, it's going to affect USD CAD because that's a humongous part of Canada's economy. They got like 12 people and a dog and a moose, and then they got a bunch of oil fields. That's what's going on in Canada. No offense, Canadians. I love you.
Hey, what's that all about, eh?
Yeah, what are you talking about? We got a lot going on up here, okay? Sorry, we're not America, okay?
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's Canadians. We play hockey, poser. So that's, where we don't have like the big economy like you do, but we got things up here. We got snow and burning trees. So they
well, they got Trudeau, which is another thing going for them.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's a perfect prime minister. He was like a substitute drama teacher and a ski instructor. Didn't you say that, V?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so really knows his stuff, that guy.
Well, it's slightly better than the idiot in Germany, the foreign minister, Elena Borbacher, who's a former trampoline artist. I shit you not. She's her former. She was a trampoline artist before she became foreign minister.
What's her name?
Alina Borbacher.
Borbacher?
Borbacher. Boer. Borbacher.
Bacher.
Yeah, something like that.
Trampoline artist?
Yep.
That's like I don't know. How do I say this? It's like people just making stuff up.
Yeah, that is true.
She's a foreign minister?
She's the foreign minister. She's like the German counterpart of a Sergei Lavrov.
Jeez, man. Let's see. Baerbock. Annalena Baerbock.
Yeah, Baerbock. Whatever.
She looks go Baerbock, dude.
Oh, God. Trampoline artist. Yeah, that's her expertise.
Baerbock, huh? Like, so she's pretty raw then.
Oh God, she's raw in stupidity.
Oh. All right, I don't even know. Trampoline artist. All right, so these swings left and right are going to be basically the market knocking out stop losses. So prior to, and this is why if you're a day trader, it might be worth it to consider waiting until these kind of jitters are out of the market before actually entering. And also just right now, volatility is relatively low. I mean, it is nice on this chart. This is a 5-minute chart. But what's happened here is you have prior to this announcement, prior to this data coming out, the market had created, we're going back in time. I'm using the replay function. And if you want to know what that is, you can go over to algofactory.tech. And there is an entire class on using the replay function to help you with your back testing, right? So we've gone back in time right here, and there was a high created right there. And then you have this prior structure right there. So the market's going to assume, usually the market's going to play that, price may bounce right here. And I think it actually does. So let's go ahead and hit the play button wherever it might be. Kind of having a brain fart there. It's on the bottom. It used to be on the top. They've changed it. So the market's going to bounce maybe, and this data came out at 6:30. So as of right now on this chart, the data has not come out. But a lot of people are probably thinking, okay, this is going to bounce right here. I mean, from a candle standpoint, it is going to bounce. You have an inverted hammer. You have this doji that's an indecision doji. You've got dragonfly doji. Whatever. Maybe a lot of people like to gamble. They'll just go long. They'll bracket. They'll go long and go short. And then they're going to look at this structure right here and say, okay, I'm not going to go past it, right? So what happens with price? Well, the next candle is going to be, that was supposed to be long, by the way. I've got this backwards. Hold on a second. It's supposed to look like this. You have a trade that looks like this. And then they got a nice profitable trade right there. So whoever went long right there and gambled won, right? Yeah. And then whoever may have gone short at that time, thinking price was going to go down, price is in a down direction. They thought the news would be bearish. They put their stop loss above here and planned on price to head down, maybe down to this area right there. They got stopped out immediately, right? So when they got stopped out, a lot of people are like, oh, okay, it's going to go long. Let's go long then. Okay. When the news is this, so they go long and they're like, okay, now we're going to go long here, right? So what happens to them? Well, let's see here. Oh, they got stopped out. Okay. I guess we better go short again. Okay, let's go short. Okay, what's going to happen here? Let's go short again. Oops, let's not do that. Okay, so, and they almost got stopped out. So long story short, depending on how they're trading, those wicks are meant to take out people's trades. And most people on this, it's a low time frame chart. They're going to have their stop losses kind of right above that structure, like in this area. So those who went long today, they actually were able to stay alive. So that's one time where the gambling paid off. But under any circumstance, wild price action like this, like these two wicks right there, they might have taken out some real tight stop longs. I doubt it. I think anybody that went long has done okay so far. But it's the end of the month. I mean, this is not a lot of volatility. If you look on a regular time frame, like say the 30-minute, let's do it this way. There's, if you look closely, you can see the wicks, but it's not a lot of price action, even compared to like last week. Just normal price action is not, it's not very much. I mean, it's a lot compared to what's happened today. So this just shows how low the volatility is right now. After the month ends, and quite frankly, after the quarter ends, because it's the end of the quarter in a few days, I think we'll probably see volatility pick back up. So it's a good week to kind of study, to back test, to develop your algorithm, develop your trading method. And again, if you're watching this, an algorithm is not some crazy, some guy in computers and he's got to program it. And, and it's not that way at first. You can pay somebody to do that for you, and it's not that expensive. But an algorithm really is just building a trading plan. And it's a classic trading plan. You can use indicators, you can use, candle theory, whatever you want to use. But you don't have to be some computer programmer to do it. So, don't get scared off. We're at the end of the beginner live session. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the gorilla, and we will see you all on Monday.
Absolutely. Yeah. So all of you that are listening in right now, listen, here's the deal. Join us over at algofactory.tech, algofactory.tech. Cowboy, flash that QR on the screen. This way you guys could join us. Look, here's the deal. You're going to be leaving money on the table, number one. And number two, you're actually going to learn something here. Something that will radically change your life, your financial bottom line, your options, and the ability for you to really make an impact for yourself and for your family. This is one of those things. AlgoFactory.tech. Take advantage of it. It is a privilege at $49.99, an absolute privilege. Right? So don't waste any more time. Do it now. Cowboy, let's go to the live.